Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. In this series of videos we are going to discuss about the basic concepts of the React and how the React works and how the React components and callback functions and most of the concepts that are in React we are going to discuss, and why the React is most popular JavaScript library, and all these things we will discuss from scratch to advanced. So this is today's chapter 1. Let's start it. So basically in this series of videos we are going to discuss both the theoretical and the practical aspect of the React. In practical aspect we are going to build projects on live and uh, try to execute it and debug the errors and all those things we are going to do. And yep, let's get started without wasting much of the time. So first thing I would say, what is React, why React is so popular even though we have HTML, CSS and other basic low level web development languages. So React is basically a declarative JavaScript library which, instead of we typing a lot of code in JavaScript trying to update the web page, the React tells web browser how does the code should work, where should the placeholder come, where should the button come, and where should what are all the specific actions it should perform. And so that's what the React is. The React is basically a declarative JavaScript library which was developed by Facebook. And yep, that's it about React. And one more thing is why React is popular and what it makes it unique is, when you imagine an Instagram post, so when you hit a like, the like counts increases without refreshing the whole page. So that's where the thing comes into picture, like modularity and the component feature of the React. Instead of updating the whole web page, the specific part of the page is updated, and the specific when the specific action is performed, and that specific data is collected, and that like button turns into red. So this is the modularity and the component feature of the React. And why do we want to use React? So you can see that there is a specific post. Whenever the post is posted in Instagram, the post will come into picture, and all that have the similar identical components like a like button, share button, and the save button. So that's where the code reusability, so we can declare a post as one component and we can reuse it every time the user or post a new post. So that's how it works, and it is server side and the client side development also. So React is a front end library, so it can be used in the front end uh, to make the modular and the component feature. And in the server side it is based on the Node.js. The Node.js, I'll come to the Node.js, what is Node.js, and uh, how it is more famous in the server side development, and all those things we are going to discuss. And in React it uses the modular feature which was declared in recently ES16 standards of JavaScript. So that is how the React, and you can see that it is very fast, and the search engine optimization. And upon the React there is one more framework developed, that is Next.js. So whenever, so I'll give you a brief about it, and in future videos we're gonna discuss. So how does when we write a code in HTML, CSS and JavaScript, and the web browser or compiler will compiles it, and the specific action will be performed. When it comes to the React framework, all the modular modules and the components are defined, and the specific action, the function states, everything is defined. And it is it is stored in the server side, and whenever the user requests it and it is sent the specific folders, a webpack is used. The webpack is basically a standard compiler for our browser, so it compiles it and it will take all the basic low level instructions that need to be performed when this user performs the specific action in the front end. So that thing, so in that React, whenever we use a search engine to find a specific thing, so say suppose who's the most top 10 Forbes models or something, top 100 or something, we'll search. So in that time, if that website is developed in React and it is compiled, so we can't search for the specific keywords. So for that reason, upon React and Next.js is developed, so we will discuss in that in future videos. And the code reusability, as I said, we will define a post as one specific model or the component, and it will reuse it in the way, as in when it will appear in the user profile as well, in the user feed as well, in the search section as well. So that is where the code reusability comes into picture, and it is easy to test. Instead of writing hundreds and thousands of JavaScript, we define in a modules, and it is easy to debug as well. And the virtual DOM, in whenever JavaScript use a document object model in JavaScript, in which a HTML element is considered as a HTML body is considered as a root, and the specific buttons and the paragraph elements are considered as a parent children's, so inner nodes and all those things. So like that as well, in React we consider a virtual DOM. So whenever a subtree or the sub branch of a DOM is updated, or the specific action is performed for that specific uh, subtree, instead of updating the whole document object model of the uh, JavaScript. So that is where that's what one of the advantage of the React, and it is easy to debug as well, since it is modular. If there is any error existing in the specific component, we will try to overcome that instead without disturbing the other components. So these are all the advantages of React, and why React is more famous. And in future, in from the inception of the React until now, there is more updations and the versions of React, and it has been updating, and it has been user friendly as well. So this is about React. And one thing before discussing, the people have confusion of what's the difference between a library and the framework usually. So React is a library. It is a declarative JavaScript library. It tells like what should be done on what specific action will come, what state should be updated, on all those things it will discuss. So framework is basically an it is a bigger perspective in which you can say that Ruby Rails and the Express.js is a framework. It provides an what can I say, skeleton kind of things for the user, so that user can develop their own libraries from that. So React is one such library. So you can say that npm has lot of uh, packages and libraries built in, using which I can import that library, and the specific functions and the state are defined in that library. Whenever that functions or the state is executed, I can, instead of writing code again and again, I can understand what that uh, functions or the components will work, and I can reuse it in my code. So it is easy to develop my code base instead of reworking from the beginning. So that's what the library means. And the framework is a largest perspective. It provides a skeleton or the basic overview of that. Example is the Express.js and the Spring Boot and Django and all those things. In libraries, as you can see, that Node.js and React and the Vue, jQuery, and all this is library. And together, using library and the framework, we can develop our code with less time and more efficient way. So that's the difference between library and the framework. So as I said in the beginning as well, what's the difference between a DOM and a virtual DOM? So as you can see, when in a normal web development, JavaScript has a DOM defined, in which the root whole HTML body is defined as the root, and the specific dev section as the sub branches, and it may have a paragraph, it may have images, and all those things. So say suppose I can consider this as my HTML body root node, and it has a sub branch. Say suppose it is one dev, and inside that dev I have an image, and I have a, and have a paragraph. So it is let's imagine it's an Instagram post, and it's a comment that is written on that. And this is another section of it. It also has one paragraph, and uh, in that paragraph, say suppose a link is embedded in that. So it is one such document object model, in which, say suppose user uh, uh, in that in this post section, the user presses a like button, and there is an update, so that like count should update, and the red button should come in. So in when it comes to real DOM, when those triggers or those specific actions performed in the front end, the whole React document object model need to be refreshed, and um, it's a default action in the JavaScript that need to be done, so to show the update to the user. So that is one thing, but that that quite a lot in quite user perspective, it is not an user friendly, and user experience will have some issues. So for that reason, we have a React coming into the picture, in which uh, specific post when the like button is pressed, and we can update that specific part without affecting rest of the document object model. The rest thing will be there, and that specific component is updated, and that specific thing is performed. Action is performed. So that is where the virtual document object model come into picture. So this virtual document object model is again converted into the real DOM by the compiler that's present in the browser, and then that that is under converted into the specific instructions, and that is given into the web browser, so that it gives a front end of well developed web page to the user friendly user. So that is the virtual DOM and the real DOM present in the React. So this is for today's, guys. So we will discuss more of theoretical concepts of JavaScript, React, and what's the interconnection and what's the structure of the React in the upcoming lectures and upcoming chapters. So that's for today. Today we discussed what is React and why React is so popular, and uh, most what is the most things that is present in the React, and what's its advantage, and what is library, what is framework, examples of that, and we discuss the virtual and the real DOM concept. So we are gonna come up with more videos and more theoretical and uh, practical projects as well. So hit the like button, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a great day. Bye.